Hi, survivors. I'm Terra Newell. Today we are going to talk about the first episode of The Idol, Poptarts and Rattails on HBO Max. Well, it's just Max now. And I'm also going to do a little bit of makeup today. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about the first episode. So, just a warning, I'm going to give a lot of spoiler alerts. And so you might as well watch the episode and then watch this so I don't give too much away. Or if you watch this, just know that you are going to know a lot. So the first episode starts off with Jocelyn. She is this pop star. She is an icon in a sense. And she's doing this photo shoot. She's wearing this red robe that was inspired by Marilyn Monroe, and she is just doing a shoot. She's very intimate. There's an intimacy coordinator there, and she's just being able to do everything on cue. So she's being able to perform, and showing that if you're able to perform, you've most likely been able to do it your whole life. So there's that. Then there is a thing going around on the internet that is a bit provocative, and it's basically Jocelyn with some stuff on her face, and that is going around. And everyone, her team is trying to keep it from her. Her team is also all over her house, all over shooting. She has dancers in her backyard, and they're practicing while she's doing the shoot. And I'm assuming that the shoot is for a cover or something. Her manager is there, just like her whole team is there. And something that's interesting is that they're talking about how she just got out of the mental hospital, and how she is wearing her hospital band. So they're talking about oh, that's sexy, mental illness is sexy. And it's really interesting because is that LA's view on things. So I'm also using Laura Mercier Chiffon 1C2, and I'm using You've a Beauty sponge. So yeah, we're getting into the show, and she's having to perform for everyone. Everyone wants something from her. Everybody has kind of conflicting views. The intimacy coordinator wants her to put her clothes on, and her other team is just like, no, let her do her. Get this guy out of here. I'll pay someone $2,000 to hold this store for the day. And so, it's really, there's a lot of conflicting views here. And then you see that there is a reporter there. She's going to also be doing an interview or shadowing Jocelyn. And really, everybody wants something from her, and everybody's at her house. And you have to remember that this is how it starts out. And then she has to go and do the dance and do the practice because she's going to shoot a music video for the song that she's doing. And so she's doing it, she's practicing. The dance instructor's like, more, Jocelyn, more, and wants more from her, and is telling her basically, watch this one girl, and is comparing her to this one girl who is a dancer and has been a dancer all her life. So there's a lot of comparison. There's already degrading in a sense that she's not good enough. And so this dancer asked hey, do you want to go out tonight? And so Jocelyn sees her in the sauna later. Her sauna, which I think is a little weird. I get it, you have this house, everyone can come stay there, but I'm a person that likes boundaries. And I like to just not have random people hanging in my house, if that makes sense. So that's just me. So Jocelyn's like, let's go out. They go out that night, and they go to this club, and there's this guy there. he's talking. He's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. This is my club. And well, he says a lot more than that. But this is the weekend, and this is Tedros. So this is where she meets him. He calls her out on the speaker and is like, I want to dance with you. So he goes and he dances with her because, like, what if she turned him down in front of all these people? That would also look bad. So that puts her in a position that she most likely has to say yes. I mean, you can always say no, but then it looks bad, especially if you're a public figure. So then she dances with him, things get steamy. They go on to a secret, well, they just go somewhere in the club and they're getting a little crazy. There's some foreplay going on in a sense. And then her friend comes looking for her, that's also her assistant, and she stays quiet and stuff. And then her friend leaves, and then nothing really happens, but she goes home. She invites this guy over, I believe it's the next night or the next 2 nights or whatever, like a couple nights later, something like that, but she invites him over later. And then this is the tricky part. This is the interesting part. Like, she just allows anyone in her house. I wouldn't do that. I like boundaries, but she is allowing him in her house. She's getting all dressed up. She's literally wearing the robe earlier that she was wearing in that shoot in the first scene. So she is getting all prepared to get some, in my opinion. And it's just like the images, everything is laying it out like, oh, okay, she's putting on these heels, she's putting on this outfit, like she's ready for it. And so you see him come in, her assistant, her friend lets him in, and he's literally scoping out the place. And to me, this is something that John did in my case, where he like scoped out the place. So he was scoping out the place, checking it out. And then you see him do something super, super weird in the mirror that, in my opinion, psychopaths do. And he's talking to himself and repeating stuff over, like practicing what he's going to say to her, like, hello, sweetheart, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was creepy. This is something that narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths do in order to practice getting their prey. Yeah. So that's really sketchy to me, and that's what happens. And then she leads him down to her studio, gives him basically a little tour of the house in a sense, like a short tour. And he's already telling her that her music sucks because she's asking him for his opinion. And that's something that these guys, these people also do, is they downgrade you and they like disregard you, and they have to always tell you that you're wrong, or you're not doing good enough, because it puts you in a place where you need them. And so he's already setting that up. And it's really interesting because after this, then he's like telling her, like, oh, like, let's make song, blah, blah, blah. Like, just sing, and then he puts the robe over her head. It almost chokes her. In a sense, it does choke her. And then she can't breathe, and he's like, trust me. And this is also manipulation too, because he's telling her to trust her. And this is the first technical date, because she met him at the club. They got a little steamy, and now this is like the first date, but it's not like a proper take you out kind of date. It's really just inviting him over to get some, in my opinion. At least those are the messages that I'm getting from her. And if she's not expecting that, then she needs to learn a different approach, unfortunately. So no shame on her. you know, girls could totally get some, but it's just not safe. It's not safe to invite someone over to your house. It's really important to get to know someone. So, further and further into it, that's how it ends. Just her robe over her head, her singing. He cuts a slit so that she could breathe, and then she trusts him. And that's how the first episode ends. So let's check out the next video. I'm going to finish up my makeup in the next video. I want to remind you guys that I am not a licensed therapist. However, not a lot of licensed therapists knew what a psychopath, a narcissist, or sociopath is and didn't know what to do to take down my psychopath in my case. So I just want to remind you that I've had a lot of research. I've had a lot of clients talk to a lot of people about their stories. So my experience is all from my own and from what I've learned. So thank you guys for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please check out the next video where I finish up the makeup and I talk about the second episode of The Idol. So bye guys.